right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Wake Up and Win Morning Motivation Podcast powered by CTR Media Network. This particular podcast is a series that is designed to fuel your mindset, elevate your business, podcast, or TV show, and inspire you to take action daily. Each episode includes powerful insights, simple, actionable strategies, a quote, of course, a Bible scripture, and a full call to action to help you achieve your level of success. Now, you're in the room, you're hearing the voice, you're waking up. We showed up for you. Now we need you to show up for us. So go ahead and smash that like bell so that or that thumbs up so that we can get this algorithm up so that people can go ahead and get their dose of positivity. Let me go ahead and pop that up on the screen. You know how we do. We like you to like, follow, share, comment, and subscribe because we will engage with you. On that note, let's go ahead and jump right into today's topic, which we are talking about taking risks. While playing is safe, it's costing you. Now, it's two sides of the coin when we talk about taking risks. You know, some people are more, they look at risk taking as not being a wise thing to do depending on the certain situation. But I'm telling you, life, your personal life, as well as your business life, it has to have a measure of taking risk. I'm not talking about being unsafe, those type of risks, but I'm talking about taking risks that maybe make you feel a little uncomfortable. It push you past your comfort zone, and it can actually help you move in the right direction in your life or for your businesses or whatever it is that you're doing. It could even be a relationship. Think about it. Let me give you an example. If you are a person that have been with someone for a certain amount of time and you realize that this person is for you, you have dated and been out in the dating pool for a long time, and you're like, okay, this person is everything or almost everything that I am exactly looking for in a partner. And I do not want to let this person go. I want them to know how special they are to me. I want them to know that this is just not another relationship. So what do a person normally do once they make that decision? Even though it may be scary, they think and they say, I'm going to propose to the person. Now, do you think a proposal is not taking a risk? A proposal, even though you may be sure or certain or feel strongly that the person will say yes, but you just never know because it's always that layer of what if they say no, right? But all the benefits of you not, all the benefits of them saying yes and you going out on the line, taking that risk, professing your love, and then going through all the motions and the steps in order to create a wonderful experience with your proposal, that's taking a risk. That's not playing it safe. That's taking it to the next level. And based upon the outcome will determine how you're going to move forward from that moment. Same way, that's personal relationship. The same thing in business. If you say, okay, I know I need to do marketing, I know I need to do media marketing, but it needs to be cost effective. I need to be able to do something that I can regularly do with my business, and I'm just starting out. How can I do that when I know Fortune 500 companies have $100,000 budgets or more, and I don't? So what can you do? You start getting on podcast shows, TV shows, getting in magazines, being on blogs. That's just some of the things. Of course, if you want to know more, you're going to have to become a member of CTR Media Network. But those are just some of the things that you can do. Why? Is because you start taking risks. You're going on other people's shows. You're going on their podcasts. You may be writing books. You may be in magazines. You may be in blogs. All of that is taking risk. You taking the time to be on someone else's platform, and then you decide, I'm going to take it to the next level. I've been on enough podcast shows, TV shows, that now I feel comfortable providing a platform for other people to come on my show and I'm going to start my own podcast or TV show. Okay? That is taking a risk because whatever it is that you're doing normally don't include podcast and TV. But, and how people going to look, will it work? Will it not work? Is it a waste of time? Is it a waste of investment? How will it go? That is taking risks. But guess what? That is a healthy risk. And not playing it safe in those type of healthy risk taking can actually prove beneficial for you, whether it works out like you would like it to work out or not. Literally, my whole business and even my life is a measure or a series of steps of risk taking. And some of my biggest risk taking, positive risk taking has actually led to so many additional opportunities and expanded my business and mindset. So playing it safe will never lead to greatness. If you're a person who always plays safe on everything in your life, you will notice that you are going to get what you get. It will never lead you to that level of excellence. You'll just be basic or average. And some people, that's okay for them, but not for me and not for the average person. They want to be better than average. They want to excel with their gift, skills, and talents. They want to be able to grow. They want to be able to push the meter, so to speak. So your breakthrough is on the other side of what you don't want to do and also the risk that you don't want to take. You think it's not a risk for me to put out that I'm going to go live every single day with a morning motivation, not knowing what's going to happen from day to day? I plan, but I don't know what's going to happen from day to day. Will I be able to actually achieve going live 365 days for 1 year? That is the challenge that I put on myself. So far, so good. We've been doing good. We've been going live every single day. But then I also not only made that personal decision myself quietly, but I went on social media. I'm doing live video. I'm going at events and I'm telling people I challenge myself to go live 365 days. Now, that's taking a risk because now I have the pressure of other people looking. Will she do it? Can she do it? Will she miss a day? Well, guess what? Thanks to God, we have not missed a day yet. But hey, I'm doing good. We started December the 31st, and now it's March the 20th, and we're still going strong. So that's taking a healthy risk. And through that, it opened up more clients for me. It opened up more opportunities for me. It also helped me to be able to inspire other people in the midst of this, including on the podcasting network, CTR Media Network, as well as outside of it, for them to start their own podcast show. We have had some people that's been sitting on their idea to start a podcast or TV show for years. They have been just sitting on it. They have the idea, concept, everything, and they just would not move. But through this, me going live, they have reached out to me and said, I didn't think with all the TV podcasts now that audio was still relevant. And I see you going live every day and how many people engage and comment and how much you're helping with going live in the morning, being positive. And I realized that I can do it too. And I decided to start my podcast. But instead of doing video first, I decided to do like you're doing with your morning motivation and do audio. Okay? It's not by coincidence that I decided to do audio because I'm always on the camera because we have a TV show as well. But I wanted you guys to see that it doesn't matter how you start as long as you start. Even if everybody is doing something one way, you can push the narrative and go back and do it your way. But do it the best, put the best effort you can into it. Hello, Dr. Rochelle. Hello, Latrell. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Morning Motivation. So Remember, playing it safe will never lead to greatness. Your breakthrough is on the other side of your biggest fear, on the other side of your risk. So let me give you 4 tips right quick. 4 tips and strategies that can help you in regards to if you're a little nervous with taking those healthy risks so that you will stop costing yourself a lot by just playing it safe, okay? Number one, the main reason why people or they hold back from taking risks because playing it safe is comfortable. It's a normalcy, it's a consistency about you doing the same thing the same way every single day. It's a comfort in it. It's a normalcy, right? Taking risks take you out of that comfort zone. However, it make you have to think more. It make you have to push the narrative. So number one, you need to stop over analyzing everything. The reason why most people, even if they decided they're going to take a risk, but then they pull back, is because they're over analyzing every single thing, every single factor, every single situation, every what if. What if this happened? What if that happened? What if this? What if it doesn't? So stop over analyzing. And if you wait for the perfect time, guess what? You'll never start. I want to go on record that there is never a perfect time to start whatever it is that you want to start. There will always be certain things that is not going to be the ideal situation, the perfect time to start. You will not always have everything figured out. You will not always have all your ducks in a row, all your I's dotted, all your T's crossed. Guess what? You still need to start. Okay? You still need to start. I need you guys to do a little assignment for me. After we finish with our morning motivation, I want you to go back on my timeline and look where I started with morning motivation. Morning motivation, Wake Up and Win did not start out looking like this. The show, the concept was that I knew I had to go live 365 days. I knew that I wanted to have some positivity. I knew that I did not want to be on camera early in the morning so that I can be in my PJs if I wanted to and be able to talk to you guys from my heart. And I knew that I just had to get started. I have been doing video for so long that I got comfortable doing video. And I was like, I don't know if I want to go back to just doing my voice because it's a whole different situation when people can't see you versus when people just hear you. Can I go back to my foundation and carry a show with the power of my voice only? With the nuances, the country tweaks, and all these things that I say, can I carry, like I did years ago, my podcast with my voice only, with all this new technology out, AI, all of these different great mics and everything? I am right now going back to how I started with motivation, morning motivation. I am literally on my cell phone talking to you right now. Every single morning motivation has not been me using all of my high-end tech, all of my high-end microphones and lighting and sound box and Rodecaster Pro with sound effects and all of that other stuff. You know the reason why I'm doing that? For you. I need you to see that a person like me who have built up a reputation, have people that I have trained and helped them start their podcast and TV show, have access to all the top latest things. And yet I choose to do this particular morning motivation podcast with none of that. Not anything like that. Why? It's because everybody has a cell phone. And if your only reason why you're not starting your podcast is because you don't have a mic, you don't have a camera, you don't have the right sounding thing, you don't have the right look and feel and all of this, well, guess what? Yes, you can. If you don't have the right look, do audio. If you don't have the right sound, use your cell phone. That's what I'm using. So no excuses. Dr. Roosevelt said, "Good morning. You are awesome. Thank you. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for what all you do, especially in education." She said, okay, I hear you talking to me, LOL. Yes, yes, yes. I'm talking to all of you. I am doing this live straight from my cell phone. Okay. And if you want to know the software that I use, I will send you the link. It is not expensive. You can actually use the software. It's only like $20 a month. I'm doing this so that you can get out of your own way. Yes, but the homework assignment that I want you to do after we get off this live, I want you to go down my timeline, or go, if you are on YouTube, you can go down and then you can click Morning Motivation on CTR Media Network. And I want you, or you can even go download the app and you can see it for yourself too. I want you to see how I started off. I started off with a black background and just a little bubble with me on it first. I just knew the foundation, what I need to do. I need to go live 365 days, and I needed to show up every single day. I want you guys to have access to positivity before you go to work, before you go to school, before you go into your community advocacy, before you start your entrepreneurship day, before you start whatever it is that you're doing. I wanted you to be able to hear positivity and have simple tips and strategies so that as you're going through your day and you may be approached with negativity or different things happen, that you could be able to pull and glean from something that was said in the morning motivation that could help you still see that you are a winner. That was the concept. That was the only thing. Now, the look of it, we worked on it. As I kept going live, and as the audience grew, and as I started getting more comfortable with going live every single day, I started looking at the presentation of it. The show was simply Morning Motivation in the beginning, powered by CTR Media Network. And as I consistently start doing the podcast, I realized that I wanted to change the name to Wake Up and Win Morning Motivation, because I want you to wake up and I want you to know that you're going to win, right? And then the look gradually changed from a plain background to like a purple and blue background. And then it changed from a purple and blue background to a black and white background with CTR Media Network going around the trim of the video. And then it changed and upgraded to what you are seeing right now. I did that real time with you guys watching me. Now, most people will say, oh, you can't change and you can't do, you started one way, you got to keep it going that way. Sometimes you have to figure it out as you are doing it. I figured things out as I was doing it with the look, the feel, but the foundation and the motive was pure. More people start coming. I wanted you to have a more nice aesthetics when you came. And now we have what we have right now. It's more polished. It's more good. We're telling you exactly what we want you to do. We want you to download the app. You can watch us on television. You can download this on your cell phones. And you can see that you are going to wake up, because you won already when you wake up. And you're going to win, right? Yes, you're going to win. You already winning. Dr. Michelle said, I need all that information about how you do what you do, because you are doing the thing. I'm heading to your timeline when you are done. I've been talking about a podcast for, and then she say, we're not going to talk about it. Yes, yes, I'm talking to you and everyone else who is waiting. I need you to see the growth just from December 2024 up until now. The only thing that I was consistently doing and taking the risk was that I was showing up, and I knew my heart motive of why I decided to do it, because we're in a world where it's so negative, and I wanted to do my part by being positive. And I didn't have the feel and the look of the show. I just knew the concept. So go back down my timeline and see how we gradually grew. And then some mornings you're going to see where I had a background. Then the next day I turn around, I'm blue and purple. Then the next time I turn around, I'm black and white. Then the next time I'm come on, and it's just like plain. The only thing that was consistent was my photo and my name or whatever like that. You will see how it grew over time right before your face. So the next time you say, well, Dr. Tina or Tina can do it because she been doing it all these years. She won awards. She teach. She already taught over 1,000 people how to do this. She could do it because that's what she do. That's her business. That's what she do. Uh, no, ma'am, no, sir. No, ma'am, no, sir. Guess what? I am continuously learning as this industry evolves. Number two, I want you to accept failure is a part of the journey. Now, many people will see all those changes I did real time in front of you as failing, but guess what? Every single time I change my background, every single time I change my format, I learned something new about the video audio space. Every time I learned something new about myself, I pushed myself. This not only helps you, it helps me too. Okay? But you need to learn to accept that failure is not a bad thing. It's just simply you're learning something. It's pushing you out of your comfort zone. It challenges you. When you fail on something that you go out to try to start, and then it's not ideal, but you still work on it, you polish it, guess what? You get better at it than the average person because you had to go through something, okay? And that's just a part of the journey. Everything is not going to be picture perfect. Even for a person like me who know how to do all this stuff. But I intentionally did this on purpose so that the next time I hear somebody say an excuse, I'm like, I took it back to ground zero with podcasting. I took it back to ground zero, and your audience will thrive and find you. We have so many people. We have over 25,000 people listening to this podcast right now. And I just started December the 31st. And they never see my face on camera. They only see my photo and hear the sound of my voice. So those of you who feel like my voice don't sound right, yada, 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 listen, my voice don't sound all that great in my opinion because I have little quartz and southern twangs and certain ways I say my words by growing up where I grew up. It's certain things that we say, a certain way that we do things that other people don't do. It's just unique. It's the nuances of the locality of which I grew up. Maybe you understand the lingo, maybe you don't. And I laugh. I have all kinds of different little quirky things that I do that I used to allow myself be like, okay, I need to stop that. No, but guess what? Your people will love you and like you just the way that you are. You need to start loving yourself. And if I allow that to stop me, if I allow my voice and thinking about my voice, I would never do any type of video. I would never do any audio. I would never do anything with podcasting or TV or social media, period. You have to get out of your own way. Number three, you need to take small, calculated risks daily. I'm not telling you to take a big, monumental risk. Take baby steps where you push yourself out the comfort zone a little bit every day in positivity to push the narrative so that you can become better, so that you can challenge yourself. Maybe it is a thesis you have to write, and you can write a thesis with your eyes closed on a certain topic. And for other people, it may be difficult, but for you, you can write this thesis amazingly on a particular topic. But then you think of a unique spin on that topic, but you say, oh man, this is going to be hard. That means I have to do more extensive research. That means that, I don't know everything on this topic. Stop playing it safe. Push yourself to do something that you don't understand everything, that you're going to have to learn as you go. That is what makes greatness, okay, at the end of the day. Risk-taking that's calculated, that makes sense, that is positive. I'm not talking about risk-taking that damages your life or other people. I'm talking about risk-taking that push you to become better. Number four, you need to trust that growth requires stepping into the unknown. You need to trust that growth requires stepping in the unknown. Do you really think being an independent podcaster starting in 2018, I content. However, I didn't take it seriously and I didn't really know what it was. I just, just was on there just doing little things. People was engaging with me. I didn't really, it was kind of cool, but I was like, ooh, what is this? But in 2013, I started understanding the power of it. So I took it seriously. I started building out social media platforms. I started going live every single day, writing posts, being engaging with what I was doing at the time. And I eventually grew, right? Now that social media, being on social media every single day, I was not podcasting in 2023. Not 2023, 2013. I was not podcasting. Didn't even think about it until I got an invitation to start a podcast. Didn't know what a podcast was. I went and just started one and I just start talking in my bedroom. Audio, just dumping out how I was feeling as a day, as a mom, as an educator, as a community leader. I just was dumping out some of the feelings that you would have when, and the pressures that you would have when you are in leadership, when you are a parent, when you are a wife, when you are a friend. You know, how do you feel? It was just basically about my life. Now, with that being said, I didn't know people was really listening to me. I was thinking, okay, nobody's paying attention. Oh, but they were. Now, so then I started building my podcast after iHeartRadio and Spotify. Music reached out to me about putting my podcast on their platform. And back then they was not putting podcasters on any platform, because back then Spotify was only music. They was just reaching out to certain people. I thought it was a lie. And so I said, okay, I took a risk. I said, yeah, right. When they sent me the email, I said, okay, yeah, you can put my podcast on your platform. I said, I know this is a scam. Guess what? It wasn't a scam. The next time I went to Spotify and I said my podcast name along with my personal name, and my podcast was up there with music, and people was listening. It was up there on iHeartRadio, and I never even went in the studio. They put my podcast up on their platform for absolutely free. I thought it was a lie. That was the beginning of me seeing the power of your voice, and how even big conglomerates saw the power in my voice, and people was listening, right? Even when I didn't feel necessarily that confident in myself at that time, but they did. And then eventually what happened was I start building and growing, and other people start asking me to help them start a podcast. And then I started a course, and never had a course in my life. Didn't know the first thing about starting a course. Let me say that first. Didn't know the first thing about starting a course. A person pulled me to the side and said, hey, I see everything that you're doing. Said, who taught you? I said, no one taught me. I just, figured it out by myself. I said, God gave me an idea and I just went through with the idea. I didn't know, I'm not techie like people think I am, but I am a person that will keep working at something until I figure it out. I play with it, go and play with the keys and figure out how to work it, right? God did it. I don't know. She was like, well, you need to teach people how to start a podcast. My mentor coach back then, I was like, teaching people about starting a podcast and developing a course. And she said, I want you to tell me all the steps that you had to do right now of how you started your podcast. So I went through and list everything that I had to do to start a podcast. She said, that's the course. Get off the phone, get to work, and create the course. Now, she didn't tell me how to do the course, what process, what systems I need to use. She just said, go create the course. I didn't know how to create a course from a can of paint. So what did I do? I went and started a private Facebook group. And I put out a post saying that I'm going to teach you how to start a podcast. And I went live in the group teaching people for 5 days how to start a podcast. I charged $20 when I first started. The first couple people were free because I was a new girl on the block. Then it started picking up. They start telling other people. All these people start coming. And then she said, you need to start charging. And I was like, charge what? She was like, whatever you want. I said, well, I charge maybe $20. No, $10. That's what I charge. I charge $10. And they start coming in. People was paying $10 with nothing. Then my coach came back and said, no, you need to up it because now you got more people in. $20. So I was afraid to go any higher. So I said $20. And then eventually it went to $45, $47. Then it went to $99. Then it went to that course went to from $99 to $149 to $199 to $200 to $400 to $500. And then we skipped, we bumped up because then we had systems. We put it in a course format. We invested in platforms, and then it went to that to $1,000. Now that happened over a period of 18 months, over a period where it gradually went up. And it even turned into people hiring me to start teaching them one-on-one how to do it. Now, in the beginning, did I know what I was doing? No, the only thing I knew was the skills, the gifts and talents that God gave me. I knew how to do the podcast, but I didn't know the process, how to start a course. I learned on the spot. People saw me grow in the process and the results of all the people coming to my class, that after they came out of my class and within a week, they had a podcast up going, and people was like, you did y'all started a podcast and you was done in 1 week, 7 days? You was done in 7 days? Yes. Okay. But I fell falling forward. I had some little dinky little flyers because I was not a graphic designer. I did not have the funds to hire someone to do like flyers and all that. So it wasn't even cute. I did the best I could. Okay. So you need to trust that growth requires you stepping into the unknown. I had to step into the unknown. The only thing that I knew was how to start a podcast. I did not know anything about starting a course. I didn't know anything about teaching people one-on-one or teaching people in group settings. I didn't know anything about starting a group for podcasts, because back then people weren't talking about no podcast like that. Okay? It wasn't trending like it's doing now. I did not know I didn't even have an email system back then when I started. Like, I had it, but I didn't know how to use it. I didn't have a team back then. My team was just me, myself, and I. But the truth is that growth requires you stepping into the unknown. Was I nervous? Yes. Did sometimes I doubt myself? Yes. Did I feel like, oh my goodness, I don't even understand, like, how can I do this? And then it gradually went from 5 people to 10 people to 100 people to 1,000 people. Because they start telling word of mouth. Then people start following, then it start growing. And then eventually, guess what happened? That one podcast that I started turned into an entire podcasting network. Now I'm offering the platform to other people who thought they could not do it. And now they can. Who the door got closed in their face, telling them they can't be on their platform because they don't have enough followers, because enough people don't know them yet. They told them, no, we accept those individuals on our platform, hear their story, and know that their story matters. And it created what you see today with CTR Media Network. That now people take the original concept, the original idea that I had years ago that God gave me. I had no idea that it was going to grow to all of this, and magazines and blogs and going to a whole. And then after that, God, he wasn't through. God expanded it to TV. Then he expanded it to do an app. So what I'm telling you is that that is all risk taking, investment, not knowing. I had no idea how this was going to turn out. And it took a lot of money to take it from that level to this level. A lot of time, a lot of effort, hiring in people. Never in my life had to hire anyone before. Didn't even know how to hire staff, how to hire people to come in, to be able to trust people to come in, or have a measure of confidence in people to come in and be able to do what I normally would do. Had to train them, teach them. That's taking risks, but that's healthy risks. Some worked out, some didn't. I'm gonna be honest with you. But I didn't play it safe. And by not playing it safe and taking healthy risks, it flourished through the will of God. Let me make that, because it ain't like I'm so awesome all the time. It was through the grace of God that this network grew. And then other people came along that can see the vision. And now as a collective, as a group, CTR Media Network, we have now reached over we hit over 100 million views last month. 100 million views. Going from one view where no one knew who I was to gradually starting. And then I forgot to tell you, in between, I created a book on how to start a podcast. The Power of Podcasting. Did I ever do a book by myself before? No, I was in other people's books, but I have never did a book by myself. So look how taking risks took me from no one knowing me all those years ago. But the goal was I wanted to be a positive inspiration. I wanted people to learn from watching me and see that it don't have to look picture perfect. But if your heart and your motive is pure, even if you don't know everything, even if you don't have all the things that everyone else has, you work with what you have. And you build, you grow. And yes, you are going to fail falling forward. Yes, you're going to make mistakes. Yes, you're going to make some good decisions, some bad decisions. Yes, it's going to be people watching you. And yes, it's going to be some people that's going to say, look, I told you so. But then it's also going to be those people that's going to applaud you and celebrate you and motivate you. But that took risk. I'm still taking risks to this day. I'm taking risks going live, everything. I'm taking a risk telling you my story because that's uncomfortable. Everybody want to talk about the good stuff, but they don't want to talk about that bad stuff. I tell you about everything. I'm like, listen, this is what it is. This is what it's not. Oh, and let me tell you, in between that, I forgot to tell you this. In between that, before we got to this thriving network that God blessed us with, I lost everything twice. Went from zero twice, lost it all twice. And when I say lost it all, I mean platform, everything that I built, the money, everything twice. Due to bad partnerships. Okay? Not making a good decision. Twice had to start from ground zero. This is not the first time I did a network. This is my second time building a network. Okay? But I tell you what, everything that I learned from them bad partnerships and losing the money and using the investment and had to start over from ground zero and the way and had to walk away in order to have my freedom because I was locked into bad contracts. And the only way that I can get out those bad contracts was lose it all. And the only way that I can stay true to myself was lose it all. Yes, ma'am. I walked away from that, the money and everything. I said, my relationship with God and being honest and truthful is more important to me than what y'all doing. Walked away and started over. And now you see CTR Media Network. Yes, CTR Media Network was brought up by blood, sweat, tears, experiences, failing, falling forward, taking risks, and learning and doing it in the public. Everybody saw it. Okay? So I need you to understand that taking risks is necessary in order for you to achieve your greatness. And so what if you make a mistake? So what if you made some bad decisions? So what if you had a bad partnership? You have the knowledge, the gift, skills, and talents. They may can take away that type of stuff, or you may lose, and you're not necessarily losing. I say that you're gaining the knowledge needed in order for you to build a solid, sustainable, whatever it is that you're doing. The reason why everything is so stable and flows so well with CTR Media Network, number one, is because God is orchestrating it. Number two, I'm being obedient. And number three, I had to go through a lot of things. And when you go through things, it makes you stronger. And guess what? Now I can take all those nuances, all those skills, and I have been able to rinse and repeat and teach so many people how to do what I do. I have duplicated myself over 1,000 times. And that is success. When you can duplicate what you do more than one time, where people can get the benefit of whatever it is that you're teaching or whatever access you're providing, that is the ultimate goal for me. What can I do with my life in order to help make someone else's life better, or to be able to help one of their dreams come true by the gifts, skills, and talents and the access that God gave me in order to fulfill my part of the assignment on why I'm on this earth? Let me go down and check the comments. Let me go check the comments and see what's going on. Woo, Lord, y'all are blowing up the comments. Let me go ahead and say, okay, go ahead. We have Mona. Mona has been with me for a very, very, very long time. And guess what? We're in two different industries. She's in the trucking industry, and you know I'm not in the trucking industry, man. I could barely drive a small little Jeep. More than, I can't even drive no 18-wheeler if I tried. I drive little cars. And so she's amazing. So check her out. We have Swag Her, which is our media partner. So go to ctrmedianetwork.com. Mona said, you are such an inspiration. Oh, you too, love. Dr. Rochelle said, yes, wake up and win. This is such an awesome way to wake up smiling, cheeks hurting. Let's go, Dr. Tina J. Ramsey. Yes, she said, ooh, number 3, that's the scary one. Yes, number 3, take small calculated risks daily. Mona said, so true. Mona said, look at God. Latrell, she is one of our CTR riders. She said, download our CTR Media Network app and register, please. Thank you. Thank you. Dr. Rochelle said, praise God. Mona said, amazing. Dr. Rochelle said, oh, Dr. Tina Ramsey, I had no idea you would be blessing folks this morning. I'm almost ready. Yes, you are ready. She said, real talk. Wow. Thank you for the transparency. Yeah, because your journey, whether the challenges, the struggles, the good, the bad, I compare life, whether personal or business, as a roller coaster. We will eventually get to the end of the ride, but not without twists, turns, ups, downs, left, right, up and down. Like, you think about a roller coaster. It's so much that you go through when you're on a roller coaster ride. That's the same thing that happens in business, and that's the same thing that happens in your life. And it repeats itself over and over and over again. But if you just keep going, you will eventually get to the end of the ride, or to the end of whatever it is that you're doing. And then guess what? That's not the end. You're going to get back on the ride again, and you're going to go over the same exact process over and over and over again. As you finish, you get back on the ride, you start over. You just don't end with the first ride. You have to keep on rinse and repeating the process. So let me give you guys a quote. Oh, we have another one of our CTR Media Network riders, the amazing Gladys, Grand Rising. Okay, and so let me give you a quote. Security is mostly a superficial thing. Life is either a daring adventure or nothing. Think about it. If you're a person who live your life in a way that is exciting, you're excited to wake up in the morning. I need you to know that security has limitations. We want to be secure as much as possible, but you don't need to be as secure to the point that it is stifling you from growing. Meaning you need to take healthy risks with whatever it is that you're doing. Everything that you see and you have grown to love about what I do, dealing with me as a person, as an individual, as a businesswoman, as an advocate, as a community leader, or I like to say servant leader, because I'm in service for the community. And all of that, it took multiple risks. And for those of you who do know my personal story, you know that I had a stroke. I was partially paralyzed. I had amnesia. I had a stroke in my 20s. In my 20s, I went to sleep and woke up, and I was partially paralyzed from the waist down. My baby was 6 months old. I was a new mom. I was married We was newly married like 3-4 years at the time. And I literally forgot that I had my baby. I had amnesia. The 12 months, I forgot a whole 12-month span of my life. And in that 12 months, I had my daughter. And so I did not have any connection with my daughter for the first half of her life. I want to go on record. I had no connection with my daughter. Yes, I fed her. Yes, I took care of her the best I could because I had to have assistance with people taking care of me, my husband, my mom, my dad. I had no emotional connection because after I had her, I had a stroke and she had no emotional connection to me. I was just another person. We had to struggle with her growing up for me to build a relationship with her because when I had her, it was during, after I had a stroke when she was 6 months old. So she forgot all the things from month 1 to 5. She only remembers month 7 on up. Do you know how it feels to be a mother and you don't have that nurturing bond that everyone talks about that you're supposed to have as a mother with your first child? We had to grow and learn. Do you know how it feels to be in your 20s and have a stroke and cannot walk? And you have amnesia. And the doctors don't know why. You are a medical mystery. It don't make sense. The test is coming back normal, but yet they look at you and you're not normal. They went through and said all kind of things they thought I had. MS, all kind of stuff they went through. They told me I'd never walk again, but God had a different plan. I walk and I have regained 85 to 90% of my memory. And every now and then with that last 10%, I get little glimmers and little flashes of light of different things that happened during that time. To this day, I could be in the house and all of a sudden I get a memory that I don't remember. And I'm like, oh, it must be from that time when I had amnesia, when I had a stroke. But I'm so grateful for that 85, 90% of brain capacity with my memory. I don't know what to do. Because guess what? I didn't have that before. And so on this, I don't know who need to hear that. I need you to understand that everything was not peaches and cream with me. But I took risks. They told me I never walk, but my husband exercised my legs every day. He said, you will walk. You gonna walk. And I gave up. I said, no, they said I'm not gonna walk. And then eventually, it was one day I was in my lazy boy. I'll never forget. I hope I don't get emotional. I'll never forget it. My daughter was in her playpen. We was watching ETV cartoons or whatever. What she was watching, I was just in the room with her. I was so depressed. I mean, I was manic depressed. And if you don't know what that is, you need to look that up. It is like extreme depression. Okay. And I was sitting in the lazy boy, and my daughter was in her playpen, and she was just sitting there. She had all the latest toys, everything that a child could ever want, and she was just sitting there with no emotion on her face, no emotion. And I was sitting there in the lazy boy with no emotion. We both kind of just sitting there. We just sitting there existing. And I don't know what it was. I feel like it was God that for a moment I snapped out of my haze of being so depressed. And I was able to see my daughter in real time in that moment. And at that moment, in the pit of my stomach, my mind was like, if you don't get up and you start working, because at the time I was paralyzed. At the time, I still have amnesia. At the time, I was still depending on everybody to watch me, feed me, do everything for me, just like my daughter. They was changing me, all the stuff. Okay. And so at the pit of my stomach, I felt like it said, I just felt it in the pit of my stomach, in my mind, say, if you do not start fighting, you will not be alive. You have to start fighting for your life. Your daughter needs you. And I kid you not, I felt Holy Spirit all over me. I turned and looked at my daughter. Something snapped at me. I started crying, and I made the decision from that day that because I did not have the will to fight for myself, but I had the will and the love for my daughter. Even though we didn't have a close relationship, it was a disconnected, because at the time I was also going through postpartum depression. I mean, I was going through all of that at the same time. And so when I looked at my daughter and the love that I did have for her, and I wanted us to be connected, I started crying and I started praying to God. And in that moment, I was able to stand up. Mind you, I'm paralyzed from the waist down. Stand up. And then I fell, and I fell over the top of the playpen. I don't know how I got inside that playpen with my daughter to this day, because that's a blur. But I was in that playpen, holding, crying, and rocking my daughter, telling her, I'm sorry, your mama is back. We are going to get through this. I love you. I don't ever want you to feel like your mama don't love you. I am back. With God's help, we're going to be just fine. We are going to be fine. And from that moment on, I felt the first initial thing that I felt in my legs was not felt good. I felt pain. I was so happy to feel pain in the bottom part of my body, because I hadn't felt anything in over 18 months. And then eventually pain, it got stronger. I started feeling pain in my toe. Then I started feeling pain in my knee, feeling pain in my leg. And then my husband kept exercising my legs. I started going through rehab. I started fighting. I was tired. I was taking risks. They told me I will never, ever, never, and never, never, ever. But God said, yes, you will. Yes, you will. Yes, you will. And guess what? Now I have 85 to 9% of my brain capacity. And now I am walking and talking. And yes, sometimes when I go on stages, when I speak publicly, when they hire me to come share my story, yes, sometimes I do dance going up on the stage. Why? Is because I could not do that before. Why? Is because every move, every breath that I take, I know it was not through anything that I did. I know it was through the grace of God that I'm here today. I know it through the grace of God that I'm holding these conversations with you, because back then I could not hold a thought. My speech was slurred. I could not speak. I need you to understand the power of your voice, the power of faith, the power of your will to do better. Whatever it is that you're going through, you may be dealing with sickness. You can will yourself back to health along with actionable steps to help you regain, recover, rejuvenate, renew with God your health, your mindset, your finances, your business, your life, your relationships. It can all be redone. Don't give up. I need you to understand. I don't know why I'm sharing all this. Somebody need to hear this, because this is not what I came on live to do. And this live is this episode is going way over. I don't know who need to hear this, but you need to move today. You need to get moving today. Get out of your own way. Let me see what's going on in the comments. Gladys said, but God, we give glory to God. Yes, we do. She said, thank God for your husband, truly a man of God. You are blessed among women. Keep getting up. Yes, my parents was instrumental. My parents and my husband really scheduled their whole entire life around me and my daughter at the time. And they took turns. My mom actually lost her job taking care of me. And my father and my husband kept working to help provide and help, because we had two different households. We had just became brand new homeowners. We had just bought a brand new home. Like, it was so much that happened during that time that it only was God, by the grace of God, that we made it. And I'm saying this is that however your current situation looks, you just need to keep going, because it will work out for you. Do not give up. I need you to start taking those risks. It was a risk for me and my husband and I and my parents to keep working on helping me to exercising my limbs when everybody told them that she ain't gonna walk. I don't know why y'all wasting your time. What you talking about? Some therapy. you know, but they didn't listen. I was, on the side with the doubts. I'm like, why are you wasting your time? I mean, all the tests. What I mean, really? And they was like, no, you're gonna walk again. You're gonna be able to talk. You're gonna be able to hold thoughts. You're going to be able to read and do all the things that you did. I had to learn how to walk, talk, feed myself all over again. As my child, my baby was a baby, I was a grown baby. I had to depend on my husband, my parents to take care of me, to wash me, to clean me, to feed me, to pick me up. And if I want to sit in the living room, I couldn't walk. They had to lift me up and put me there. I couldn't get up and go to the restroom by myself. They had to take me there. I had to stop sleeping in my bed and sleep in the living room because the living room was right directly close to the bathroom. And I had no ability to be able to make it from our master bedroom. It was just too long of a walk. It was just too long of a distance for me to crawl because I used to pull my body. And my husband be like, stop getting up, trying to, pulling. My top part of my body was strong because I would get down and try to crawl, all kind of things, you guys, just to have some sort of independence. So my husband would place me close to the door so that I could use the walker when I had a little bit of mobility, that he could push me and my parents can push me to the restroom. They had to help me. I had to go down as low as a baby. My daughter and I both were sitting on the table. I mean, not the table, the chair. She right beside me, both waiting on someone to feed us our meals, my husband or my parents. Do you know how degrading I felt? How low I felt? I was the one that I used to help all the elderly. Part of my ministry work was that I used to help the elderly. And I was now 20 something and elderly and couldn't help anybody because I couldn't even help myself. Oh my God, the depression was like through the roof. Okay. So I need you to understand that you can come from the dust and come out victorious. And all of it is because of God. All of it is because of God. And that I did not give up. I was obedient, even when things did not look ideal, kept on moving. I stopped overanalyzing everything. I stopped looking for everything to be picture perfect. I understood that failure just is a part of the journey. I take small calculated steps every single day, calculated risk every single day. I trust that growth requires stepping into the unknown. You're not going to know everything all the time. You're not going to have everything figured out all the time, but you have to get started. You have to get moving. Now, let me give you a scripture, and then we're going to wrap this up. 2 Corinthians 5:7 says, 2 Corinthians 5:7 says, walk by faith, not by sight. Let me say it again, just in case in the back of the room you didn't hear what I said. You're going to have to learn to walk by faith and not by sight. See, it's easy for us to believe something that we can see. The problem is when we can't see it, will we still move forward? I need you to walk in the unknown. I need you to have faith that it is going to happen just as it's supposed to happen. That everything that God put on you to do, that it will be just so. I need you to stop waiting for the perfect situation because it doesn't exist. It's no perfect scenario. If you're waiting for everything, all your ducks to be in a row, honey, your duck ain't gonna never be in a row. It's always gonna be crooked. If you're waiting for that to be an indicator or a confirmation, you need to get started, that everything has to be in order, because it's not going to be picture perfect. Go ahead and get started. What I want you to do today, I want you to take that leap. I want you to take that leap. And I want you to go to the CTR Media Network app and support by downloading the app. And as you chase your dreams, as you walk into the unknown and take these small calculated risks every single day, and stop playing it safe, because it's costing you your abundance. It's costing you your life. It's costing you your happiness by you playing it safe. You think it's adding on, but it's actually taking away. I need you to be smart about it. I need you to, on this day, this will be the last day that this is the last day that you are content with being mediocre. This is the last day that you are content with being average. This is the last day that you will be content with things just the way they are. You have dreams, you have goals, you have aspirations, you have gifts, skills, and talents that you know you're supposed to be using right now. You have things that wake you up at night because you know you're supposed to have a higher calling on your life. You know you're supposed to be doing certain things, and you got this vision to do it, and you just not doing it because you scared. Guess what? You need to do it afraid. Most of the big moments in my life that I have some of the most accolades and all this other stuff, yada, 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 it happened, and I did it while I was afraid. You think I'm not afraid to be a part and be able to start a network, start a podcast, be an author, a public speaker, to be an entrepreneur, to be vulnerable, telling you my story? You think that don't scare me? Because I'm private, honey. But I know what assignment I have to do, and this is just a part of the assignment on what I have to do on this earth in order to make my measure of a positive impact on this earth, in order to get the people that I'm on this earth to help, to get you guys to move to action and to understand your worth, and that you are already good enough just the way you are. The only thing we need to do is just improve ourselves. But you're already ready. You don't have to get ready. You are ready. I don't know who need to hear it, but I hope it touch your soul, touch your spirit, to get you to go ahead and start doing the things that make you uncomfortable. Get you to start taking those risks, get you to stop playing it safe, and also free you to be able to walk into the fullness of what your life is supposed to become. For you to experience the full pleasure of endless joy, pleasure, happiness, abundance, stability in mental, spiritual, health, financial, relationships, and everything. I want you to tap into your abundance. That is possible. It is happening now. I'm experiencing myself. I want you to have the peace that only God could give. You can have peace in the midst of chaos. I need you to be able to cross over on today. This is for you. And when you do your podcast or your TV show, come on over to CTR Media Network so we can put you out so that you can reach 350 million households. We're currently streaming or have listenership or viewership in 140 countries. We're going for 155. We still have a way to go. And even though we're reaching 350 million households worldwide, our goal is to hit 1 billion. Yeah, 1 billion people. Reaching 1 billion households, that is the goal. And guess what? I'm saying it so I can hold myself accountable, so that we can hold ourselves accountable. And with God's help and with us keep moving, we will definitely hit that 1 billion when it's his time. Okay. But we're so happy to be able to be reaching 350 million households worldwide and being able to cross over where people across all of our CTR Media Network is tuning in, listening, like, following, commenting, and subscribing. And over 100 million people have viewed our content. Now, if that ain't a hallelujah, amen moment and thank you moment with God, I don't know what is. And I want to tell you on today, thank you for being a part of CTR. Thank you for downloading the app. Thank you for commenting, like, following, sharing, and subscribing. Thank you for leaving all the inspiration to me in comments, emails, sending personal gifts and everything that you guys do behind the scenes that nobody know that you do. Because listen, even though I do all this, I need encouragement too. I'm human. I have doubts. I have fears. I just keep on moving. But what you don't realize is that through some of you guys' positive comments to me, letting me know how my content, as well as our amazing content creators on CTR Media Network content, is helping you. In those moments, you motivated me to keep going. So it is a win-win situation. It's just not me pointing to you. You have indeed poured into me all of these years. And the reason why I keep showing up like this every single day is because I care and I really love you. And I want you to have the best of everything in your life. And I am not going to cry. I'm not going to cry. All right. On that note, you guys have a great, amazing rest of the day. Make sure to download the CTR Media Network app. Just don't engage and comment with us at CTR Media Network, but make sure to go and subscribe to all of our amazing content creators, independent platforms as well. Make sure to drop a comment up under their videos, up under our videos, and let them know what you pulled, what you learned, what inspired you from their videos. Because over here at CTR Media Network, we all about positivity. We all about making a positive impact that leave a lasting impression. And we hope that by what we do is helping making your life just a little bit easier every single day. Because at the end of the day, you deserve it. If no one told you today that you're amazing, I'm here to tell you, you are. If someone trying to break down your spirit or trying to dim your light, I need you to let it shine. And for all of you who've been holding back on that idea, thinking that you're not good enough, I want you to know that you are. And when you start your podcast, come on over to CTR Media Network and drop the link in the comments so that we can see it, because I want to see you walk into your greatness. This has been Wake Up and Win, Morning Motivation by CTR Media Network. I am your host, Dr. TNJ Ramsey, and go have you a fantastic day. Don't let them negative people win. We have a new person in the building. International said thank you. You are most welcome. And Dr. Rochelle, you know, now that I know you're supposed to start a podcast, you know I'm going to be watching, right? Okay, I'm going to be watching. Uh-huh. All right. You're most welcome. You guys have a great, amazing rest of the day. I'll talk to you later. Bye.